got a big game tonight between the Niners and the Giants, and I'm welcoming in a 9-year NFL veteran defensive back. You can see him on ESPN's NFL Matchup. You can see him on the Man-to-Man Pod. You can see him on Pat McAfee. You can see him on the sidelines of college games while they're happening on ESPN. He is taking over. But did y'all know that my friend Darius Butler is a certified TikTok star? Do you know this?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't. No,
Yeah.
I don't know this. My daughter would have told me this by now, so I doubt it. I doubt that. I doubt that.
I am not a TikTok. I am not a TikToker. I have 29.6 thousand followers. All my stuff is like 12 views. 40,000 views is my most. I put up the Roman Empire thing. 1.7 million. You went viral on TikTok, Darius. You did.
Gee, we did numbers, but hey, this might be the second time we done did numbers now, okay? The last time when we celebrated your parlay or your birthday with the champagne bottle, I don't know if it hit those numbers, but that was a good internet moment for sure. I saw you celebrating again with Gronk, celebrating a parlay win, which hey, those are tough to come by.
Thank you.
Good
Not
work.
if you're you. What's the secret to putting together a winning parlay? Because if Darius Butler puts a parlay out, y'all got to play.
Notes, research. Watch it. I'm not Orlowski, okay? I don't watch every snap like he says. But I mean, you get lucky sometimes. You got to get lucky. You got to play the game. But you look at the game, you look at the teams, the matchups, and some things just jump out. And, you got to take a risk with at least one leg. Like that George Kittle touchdown on your parlay, I would think that's the riskiest pick, somebody getting into the end zone, especially with all those weapons. But it's some luck, some research. And, so hopefully I get a few more this season.
Well, you said you liked our same game parlay, and it's a no-sweat bet, so everybody go on FanDuel and check it out ahead of tonight's action. As much as I want to talk to you about the Roman Empire, we'll save that for another time. Look out, Alex Earl. We're taking over TikTok, Darius and I, but let's get to this Bears situation. Heart's a little break in here. I want them to be great. Justin Fields, he had the interactions twice with the media yesterday. What did you make of what happened in Chicago?
It's just Justin Fields, still a young man, a young quarterback in this league. And there's a lot that comes with being a franchise quarterback. Everything and anything you say can and will be taken out of context when it comes to headlines. And then some things, may not be taken out of context. But I think he's just learning that more and more, especially when you're struggling, you're not winning. We saw it with Russell Wilson. He was kind of everyone's golden boy. And then as soon as he started not playing as great, started losing games, now everything's getting paid. What is he doing on the plane? Oh, this is corny. That's corny. So it's about winning and being productive as that franchise quarterback. And I think once Justin Fields starts to do that again, all these other things will kind of go away. But that needs to come first. A lot of people forget this was the worst team in the league last year, pretty much. They had the number one pick before they traded it away. So they got to figure out how to get the best out of Justin Fields. And then Justin Fields will obviously figure out the other things that come with being a franchise quarterback as far as, just picking at and picking apart, every little thing he may say.
Then you've got the D coordinator thing, which we don't have enough information on to really speak about, but there's a lot going on in the locker room. And it's sort of the focus of the league right now, even with a big Thursday night game, even with Patrick Mahomes getting this whopping contract, their opponent this week, by the way. If you're one of his teammates, if you're one of these guys in the locker room, how do you feel about the situation? Is there somebody in there that you think is the one to stand up and be the galvanizer? Let's go shut everybody up with a win this week?
See, I don't know that locker room like that. Every locker room is different. Sometimes you look at the quarterback, sometimes the coach is fairly new, the GM is fairly new. It's a lot of moving parts in that locker room. So, that's something they got to figure out. And what you find out in football and in sports is kind of winning kind of cures all. And look like they're far away from winning right now. But somebody's got to bring them together and obviously put a good product out there on Sundays. But then more importantly, we don't know what's going on off the field with Allen Williams. Just mentioned the defensive coordinator, he resigned. So we can all assume that it's pretty serious. Nobody just resigns in the middle of the season. Everyone's kind of been, really tight-lipped about what they do know. So, as that stuff comes out, we'll see what it is. But that's a lot of outside distractions and noise outside of that building. Yeah. And that's something you don't want to be dealing with on, a Thursday going into week 3 about to face the defending world champs in the Kansas City Chiefs.
I've convinced myself they can win this game because the Chiefs don't have it all figured out yet. And Darius, I don't even have to look at you to know how you're looking at me. I just feel, listen, your team, the Colts. Jeff Saturday, his first game as a head coach, they rolled. Something about the second time Field said, hey media, get in here, I want to talk to you. Stop trying to pick apart. Isn't there a little something there that, and Chiefs, don't tell me that they always take lower competition very seriously and crush them and have dominant wins by 20, 30 points. They don't. Yeah,
the Chiefs are kind of known as the team who, especially early in the season, they're going to win, but a lot of times they're not going to cover. And when you have an athletic quarterback, that can always be the wrench in anyone's plans. But that's the problem. They're not using Justin Fields' athleticism. I think that's number one. That's the number one issue right now. I think there should be at least, I heard it's only been 5 design runs in the first 2 games. I think it should be at least 5 a game where you're getting the ball in Justin Fields' hands and letting him run and be an athlete, and then figuring things out in the passing game, which, if you look at the film, which I have, it's not as far away as it seems or as people are making it out to be. There are different things. You want to see more confidence and more conviction in the decision-making, at the top of his drops, where guys are going to be. Because in the league, you got to anticipate throws to make accurate ones in the coverage, and not seeing that enough. But there are sparks and plays here and there that you see from Justin Fields in the passing game. So it's not that far away, and it's not insane to say they can go out and beat the Chiefs. I mean, you got to line it up and play every week. But you also expect the Chiefs to, at some point, start to figure it out and play better, especially on that offensive side of the ball. I think their defense, especially with Chris Jones being back in the middle, defense is playing pretty well to start the season off.
It's well said. Let's move on from Chicago. There's a game tonight. It's the Up and Adams Bowl because we have Deebo Samuel and Daniel Jones as regulars on Tuesday. We had them. We talked about this game. It's a short week. It's kicking off week 3. It's a good game on Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. So the Giants are without Saquon. That's not fun. Tough task up against Nick Bosa and company in this defense. What does Dable need to do? What needs to happen for this offense in New York to sort of be able to take down? What's it going to take?
I mean, for them, honestly, you want this on a short week, especially a short week for the Giants where in their second half, you had a great comeback. You stayed out west in Arizona. You had a great comeback in the second half against the Cardinals. Offense found some things out, figured some things out, hopefully. Obviously, you lose Saquon, but you are kind of riding that momentum, and now you have a short week against a great opponent in the San Francisco 49ers, who they're dealing with a couple injuries with Ayuk there, too. We'll see how healthy he is tonight. But what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to figure out how to get Jalen Hyatt involved again. 2 big catches last week. And then defensively, we got to get some production out of that defense. No sacks, no interceptions for Wink Martindale's defense. They got to get that figured out. You're going to need some splash plays to beat an opponent who, in the 49ers, you look at it from the top down, one of the best rosters in football. Most people's power rankings right now, they're probably 1 or 2. So it's going to be a tough task for the Giants. But Daniel Jones got to keep doing – whoever was calling plays, whatever adjustments Jones is making, keep doing it. Keep getting Waller involved. And keep getting Jalen Hyatt behind that defense, man. He's a tough guy to deal with his speed. And if it was one Achilles heel of this 49ers defense from last year, it was the deep ball. So if you can find a way to get behind that defense with the deep ball, which obviously starts with protecting Daniel Jones first and foremost, I think that'll be their keys to victory. Big plays on offense and some splash plays on defense, man.
Yeah, it's Wink Martindale. We expect a little bit more from him through 2 weeks. So we'll see if he can help Daniel Jones and company out. Yeah, of course, not having Saquon. You mentioned the secondary there. And obviously there was a lot of talk about what a beautiful ball to start the second half, Jalen Hyatt. And he called for the ball. He said, give me the ball. And Daniel Jones was like, he called the play, kind of. He wanted it. He got this done. This is a very confident, this is his first career reset. This is unbelievable he's doing this in his early NFL action. If you're a DB, if you're in the secondary, which is, being called susceptible, it's their weakness on this Niners defense, and you have this kid who's barking for the ball and he's got all the swag, does that affect you going into this game? You want to shut him up a little bit?
Nah, it doesn't affect. Every week, every opponent, they're gonna have certain people on the scout report who you got to pay attention to, and Hyatt is going to be one of those people if he continues making those type of plays because everyone knows the speed that he has. But this was his first two catches he had last week with both big catches, so he hasn't really made a name for himself in the league. But DBs and secondaries are going to be aware of where he is. Whether it's him in motion or him in the slot. Speed, if he lines up at number 3, remember that deep corner route he had in the preseason, which was one of those plays that we may see tonight. So you're definitely going to be aware of where he is. But Darren Waller, Hodgkins, like all these guys can make plays, and it obviously starts with the quarterback. Can you keep him protected? Can you keep him comfortable? And can you keep it to where it's a balanced offense? Because you don't want Daniel Jones dropping back, 35, 40 times in a game. You want to, just like what they need to do in Chicago, continue to use Daniel Jones' legs and athleticism to kind of make the game easier and come to him. But, on offense for the Niners, they're so damn good with Brock Purdy and all those weapons, C-Mac leading the league in rushing. They're going to have their hands full for sure than if you're the New York Giants.
And that one's happening tonight. So guys, go over to FanDuel Sportsbook if you want to have a little fun. There's a lot of people putting up their prop bets and putting the good vibes over on our chat on YouTube, which we love to see. I want to talk about Gronk's prediction for a game sort of stuck out to me. It wasn't a score. It wasn't over-unders. It wasn't a prop. It was the fact that these two 0-2 teams, the Chargers and the Vikings, facing each other, whoever loses is going to be in trouble, okay? There's going to be changes made. Basically what he said, if the Vikings lose this game and go 0-3, they're going to ship out Kirk Cousins. They're going to trade him, okay? And he said that if the Chargers go 0-3, Brandon Staley is going to get fired going into week 4 action. What do you think of that, and what do you make of this game when you see Chargers at Vikings? Who's got the edge?
I mean, those are some bold takes from Gronk. I feel like Staley's seat has kind of been hot, at least from the outside in, for a couple years now, especially when you have a quarterback like Justin Herbert. But I think the Chargers have the edge. If you look at Justin Herbert and that offense, even with Kellen Moore coming over doing some different things, but a lot of similar things that Herbert's been successful with. He moves the ball. They're scoring points. They're not turning the ball over. Last week, they were terrible on third down. They're only 2 for 14, I believe, on third down, and 3 for 3 on fourth down. But you got to have third down conversions, keep those chains moving, put points on the board. And you got to close out games. The first 2 games, they had opportunities to close them out in regulation and win them, and they didn't do that. And then on defense, you got to make plays. You got a lot of big names on that Chargers defense, but they haven't been making the plays to live up to those names up to this point, at least. So you had Tannehill go, 20 for 24, which, Tannehill's a good quarterback, but he shouldn't be that efficient against a defense like the Chargers. So I think they have an edge in both of those locker rooms. I agree from this standpoint. It's definitely a must-win. Going into week 3 is early for a must-win, but it definitely is. Vikings, man, hey, they got a lot of things to figure out, too. They covered backdoor on Thursday last week, but that game, they kind of got beat up that game against the Eagles. So they got some things to figure out. I don't think Kirk Cousins, I don't think he's going anywhere, though. I don't think he's a problem. I don't think he's the issue. He's putting up a lot of yards, a lot of points, but some other things that need to be figured out in Minnesota before you start shipping Kirk Cousins to New York.
I don't know. He's going to want the bag. I feel like it's his last year as a Vikings quarterback. I think they're going to go younger. Mm-hmm. We'll see. If they keep losing, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I feel like we're going into week 3 such a weird place because everyone just wants to pretend they know these teams already. And we don't. And there's good and bad. And it's way too early to be saying that. That said, the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, if you ask me. They look so good.
That was my pick.
They take care of business. Yeah, I know. And they take care of business, right, against the Bengals, which whatever. We won't even talk about that. It's only been 2 weeks, DB, but Lamar's completing 74.5% of his passes. Todd Monken is awesome. And this is banged up. This team is already banged up, and they still look this dominant. So What's the secret to how this offense is making it happen?
Hey, and before we even get to the Ravens, those Bengals, your Bengals, hey, it's another must win this week, starting off 0-2. Question marks over there right now too. But I mean, it starts with Lamar. That's kind of where it always starts in this league, it seems, with the quarterback position. And what Lamar has shown us, what he's proven up to this point in his career, if he's playing, the Ravens are winning. Even the first week, when it was ugly for a lot of teams. It was ugly against the Texans. Found a way to win. Then you come out against a divisional opponent, and then you play even better. And look, even when you lose Odell, you look great in the passing game. Zay Flowers getting involved down the field, threw a couple of dots on those slot fades for touchdown as well. So he's finding his groove. And Monken, he's opening up more. And Lamar, he's kind of using his legs when he needs to extend plays and still make throws down the field. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Lamar. Now, like you said, they are banged up. You know, you lose Marcus Williams with the pec for the year. O-line is a little banged up. You lose J.K. So at some point you think, you know, that may show his head. But, I mean, Lamar has shown us. If he's playing, the Ravens are winning. And also their culture, the head coach, Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. You don't even have Marlon Humphrey back in the lineup yet. Shout out to Rocky Sin. He's been playing some good ball at corner. So the Ravens are doing a lot of good things, and they'll be tried and tested throughout this year, been in the AFC North. But I picked them before the year to make a Super Bowl appearance, and I'm sticking with LJ and the boys down there in Baltimore.
Looking like a good pick. All those notes, those legal pads, the yellow papers. Looks like you're doing your thing, and it's
gotta
being
be yellow
effective
too.
for
It's gotta
you.
be yellow.
In 2023, we're living in a world where the Bengals are not good and the Rams are like on fire with a guy named Puka. Like that's the world we're living. He's so good.
He's unbelievable. What, 30 targets throughout the first 2 weeks? Most in NFL history. What, 23, 25 catches, something like that. Puka is a dog, and I think McVay said he just has it figured out. And the thing that Stafford has shown us, if there's a receiver out there that's going to be where he needs to be and going to be open, Stafford is going to find you early and often, and that's what they've been doing. They've been playing well on defense too, surprising a lot of people, myself included. I did not expect this from the Rams this year to be as competitive as they are right now as a team.
We've got a pop quiz for you. I don't know the answer to this, but my producer just told me in my ear before we let you go, you had, I believe, 4 touchdowns in your NFL career. Do you remember the very first one? And more importantly, what did you do with the ball? But do you remember it?
Oh, I hope I have the ball. But yes, I remember it. Houston, late in the season, either week 17, 18, tip ball off of Jacoby Jones' hands. And I was just running, just hauling ass cakes. I'm like, I know Jacoby's on the field, Andre Johnson's on the field. I have to run as fast as possible, get a little high step at the end. But, tips and overthrows, 91 yards. And for a trivia question for anybody down the line, this was the longest interception return for a touchdown in the Tom Brady era in Patriots. I learned that on another show from Teddy Bruschi.
Where's the ball?
No clue. Probably at my mom's house. Yeah, probably at my mom's house. But I need to find it.
Well, I'm asking because I want to just end this with the Colts. Their tight end, Kylan Granson, he catches his first touchdown, just like you were just so happy about it. And with the same ball that he caught, he did this. He did this with the ball. Let's take a look here.
Now I know where. I would never do that. I'd tell you that. But Granson, I like it. To each his own. I see the little flower over the ear.
Do you?
I guess it's nice. Hey, to each his own.
You like that?
I'm glad you enjoyed the touchdown. Hopefully, it's first of many. Being that you are a Colt, and obviously I'm a huge Colt fan. But that's cool. I guess we would definitely have some fun with that in the locker room for sure.
I bet. You could have lots of fun listening to Darius Butler on the Man to Man podcast. Watch him. I mean, is there something I'm missing? ESPN's NFL matchup, Pat McAfee. What's going on? Are you traveling this weekend too?
No college football this weekend. I'm off this weekend, but we'll have some more games down the pipeline. Those are the most fun that I have, because as a football player, I'm used to watching the game from field level, from the sideline. At some point, I want to get in the booth and call games, but this is kind of both together. It's hard to see the field, obviously, when you're on there, but just those live reactions of somebody that's really a fan of the game in these unbelievable college atmospheres, That's the favorite part of my job right now, is being on the field with that mic with the guys. So it's pretty fun. But now you didn't miss anything. I'm moving around. I'm busy football season. It's golf season. It's football season.
I know.
And right now it's football season.
It's push-up season always with Darius Butler. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Great insights ahead of week 3 and action tonight, guys, between the Niners and the Giants. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest Up and Adams content right on YouTube.